What's up? Welcome to Kooll Reviews on Kooll OneHunnit. Today we're gonna be checking out South Central. South Central is a story of a single mother, Joan Moseley, who lives in South Central Los Angeles while struggling to raise her kids, Andre, Tasha, and Dion. I'm gonna give you a minute to like, comment, and follow, and we're gonna jump into South Central, episode 1, the pilot. We start off with Joan, who is played by Tina Lifford, who is desperately searching for another job before it is discovered she is unemployed by her 3 kids. Andre, who's played by Larenz Tate, Tasha, who's played by Tasha Scott, and Dion, who is played by Keith Mabulos. We start off with Joan as she's in the interview for a sales rep for scientific supplies. Upon her returning home after her interview, she gets a voicemail saying she didn't get the job. Afterwards, she goes to the local co-op community market to get food for her family. And Lucille, the cashier, played by Jennifer Lopez, lets her know her check is not accepted because she wrote a bad check previously, while she was unaware that checks are deposited same day now as opposed to at the end of the week as it was months ago. I gotta say, in my honest opinion, she's really struggling, y'all. A single mama with 3 kids, one of them adopted, autistic, and nonverbal, and maybe a possible crack baby, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, she's really struggling, y'all. This is like the early 90s, 93, 94. Well, crack was on the rise. It tore down urban communities, and it created less jobs for, minorities and, African Americans and stuff. So the portrayal by this lady, Miss Tina Lifford, in the post-crack epidemic is phenomenal, y'all. But let's get back into the story. So she finds out she got a bad check. So now she's on the check fraud list, meaning she got to put some of her stuff back, and they're going to be watching her every time she gets in. Returning home, Bobby Deaver, played by the all-star legendary hood movie king himself, Mr. Clifton Powell, calls Joan and asks her to come down. Little do she know that there's a new job opening, and he was considering her, saying as he saw her struggling in a stove days before. So he figured, a single mama with 3 kids, how can I help her out? I'm gonna give her a job. Diva owns this co-op that specializes in the black products in a diverse community, meaning whites visit, Africans. He has a Latino cashier, but his main focus is the black dollar, stretching that black dollar, saving that black dollar, and extending that black dollar to your fellow man. Now, Clifton Powell calls Joan down to the store. She initially thinks it's credit. If you don't know, back then you used to get credit from your local stores if they were familiar with you. And you just have to pay the tab at the end of the week or the end of the month, depending on what your arrangement was. Kind of like a tab at a bar. Go in the store, get what you need, come on out, and as soon as you get paid, you go honor that debt. And that's how credit worked back then. Man, I wish we still had that. But let's get back to this story, man. He wants to help her and her kids out. Now, I know, like, where's the husband? Well, Joan is a divorced single woman. Her and her husband didn't see eye to eye. He had what she would call hopeless ambitions of, running nightclubs and stuff. And she was grounded in the real world, far as working two jobs, restaurants, fast food, diners, kitchens, and whatever. So I guess one day it got too much for her, so they called it quits. But yeah, Joan is a single mother of 3. She's on her own besides having a very best friend named Sweets, played by the late great Paula Kelly. Now I want to introduce you to the kids, man, because this is where everything sets in. Each person got their own individuality, their own, their own path in life. So let's start with 17-year-old Andre Moselys, who is also embarrassed virgin and also has attraction to Nicole, played by Maia Cambell, who is well off and lives in the upper echelons of neighborhoods of Los Angeles. So he's crushing hard on her, and by miraculous decision, she's interested in him too. She likes the nerd, yet product of the environment type dude, but not too ghetto. If you paid attention to the TV show, there's one time where he's gonna be packing a gun, and that's gonna really turn her off. But to my knowledge, she really did like Andre. She even told him at one point that she loved him. So, and I gotta give credit to Maia Cambell. She played this role. I'm a big fan of Maia Cambell. If you don't know her, she was on In the House. She was on Trippin', just a lot of stuff. But Maia Cambell is played by Nicole, who is Larenz Tate, Andre Moselys' love crush. Andre is the older child now that his older brother was killed in senseless gang activity during the height of gang activity in the early 90s. Gang activity during the height of the early 90s was a big problem. You couldn't even go to the store, I heard, in California without getting approached, pressed, and recruited by gang members. So I guess Andre's brother Marcus fell into that trap, joined the life, and later on lost his. But let's get back to Andre. Andre Moselys is a simple, average, run-of-the-mill teen. Basically, a product of his environment. He's into music, rap specifically, fashion, if you pay attention to how he cares about his clothes, and he has a fondness for pagers. Now, if you are a millennial or whatever, if you don't know what a pager is, it was a beeper back then. The equivalent of having a cell phone today. You call the beeper number, put in your special code, somebody give you a code like you'll be 777, that's how I know it's your number. Put the code into your phone and hang it up, and minutes later they'll get a beep telling you to call them off the number you just called. It was a lot, but it was pretty popular in the early 90s. Now, Andre is desperately seeking a beeper to feel popular, to feel, grown up of a man. Like I said, he's 17. And I had beepers back then too, so I do understand that. You know what I mean? Andre desperately wants the beeper. Owners against the idea of her 17-year-old high school son walking around with a beeper in the 90s, y'all. If you don't know, beepers was known to be carried by either a doctor, a lawyer, or a drug dealer, or they call it a gangbanger. Now, if you wasn't either a doctor or lawyer, you had a beeper, 9 times out of 10 people was gonna think you were either a gangbanger selling drugs or both. So that's where Joan comes in at. She is shaken with the fear of her son Andre getting caught by either the ops or LAPD with a beeper, and thinking that they would assume the worst of them, aka beat the shit out of them. But of course, being a teen, Andre thinks his mom is overly protected since the tragedy of his older brother Marcus. Long story short, John finds out Andre has a beeper, and in a heated argument. She calls him Marcus. Later that night, Joan comes home, and after everybody comes together, Joan and Andre agree to revisit the beeper issue tomorrow. Now, let's get into Tasha. Tasha is the next child, played by Tasha Scott. In my opinion, who's a feisty, tell it like it is, 13-year-old young lady.
Disgusting.
You know, Tasha, that's your problem. You always down on a brother. That's why you never have any dates.
Man, I don't want any dates with no Nintendo playing, trash talking, pants hanging off they butt wearing underachievers such as yourself.
She is tasked with being the older sister, where in comparisons to Andre being the older brother, she's a little bit more head steady, she's a little more focused, driven, and responsible. I don't know, we all have that little younger sibling that always thinks she's the oldest. Well, in that case, that'll be Tasha. Tasha is well wise beyond her years. She takes role of Joan when needed. If Joan is at work, working 2 jobs, working 3 jobs, or just unable to tend to Dion. And in my opinion, she felt looked over by her mama because her mama always tasked her to be the younger, older sibling, even though, you know, hey, I'm not the only one living in this house. And if you're an older child, I'm definitely sure you can relate to your mom giving you the task of being the next parent in charge, if it was to ever happen that she wasn't around. So I kind of feel like Tasha. I feel her, but in her defense, Tasha handled it well. Did what she was asked to do when she was asked to do it. Yeah, she gave you a little lip time to time, but she did what she had to do. Now, Tasha is a straight A student. Like I said, very responsible and a needed part of this family. She's very serious about her future and determined. Did you hear me? She's determined to be more than a statistic that she sees in everyday society, i.e. school, walking to the store. You know, the little girls in the 90's who was all into, you know, the drug dealers and stuff. I love her character, I really do. Now, when we get to Dion, it's a little bit more different. Little Dion can't be more than 4, 5, or 6. I don't give him no older than that, seeing as he's a little guy. But Dion is an adopted child Joan took in after her oldest son Marcus lost his life. It seems Dion is on the non-communicative spectrum of autism. Now, if you don't know what autism is, that's of learning development. You either learn slow or differently than others. So in addition to being a crack baby, I highly suspect him being an autistic child. Now, Dion doesn't say much besides having night terrors and screaming. Dion is misunderstood by both Tasha and Andre. Joan seems to be the only person who can really handle Dion, seeing that she's a mama and she have those maternal instincts. Now, this pilot felt like a good start of a great show to me. When it was aired, I was all in for it. 1994, when it first aired, I was all in for it. With a over 7-star rating, I liked it. But unfortunately, we only got 12 episodes due to the ratings at that time. Y'all need to know I plan on fully recovering this entire sitcom as I relate to it. Like, I really do relate to every aspect of this TV show, and it's just episode 1 in the pilot. it was refreshing to see a real urban show in a time where, you know, everybody wanted to be funny and blase. Yeah, we had Moesha's and, you know, we had stuff like that, but South Central to me was really, really, really personal, and I enjoyed it. So I dig it. Y'all just stay tuned. Now let's get into my final thought. In my final thought, I thought South Central, the sitcom, was very much needed at the time. It displayed poverty. It displayed mothers going through struggles as a single parent. It displayed kids not being heard. It displayed, you know, kids that need help. It displayed a lot in that era. And remind you, it's not too far from the Rodney King beating and followed by the riots. So in that time, you know, we had Menace to Society, we had Boys in the Hood, we had Colors, Fresh, Jews, you know, stuff like that. But in the sitcom world, the closest I felt to like urban was South Central. Like I said, we had stuff like Moesha and all that other stuff, but to me it felt a little watery. That's where South Central comes in for me. Far as the characters, now, man, I love them all, and I just think everybody did a great job. The casting people did a great job. The actors themselves did a great job with delivering their lines. So I can't applaud them enough. We got like Tasha Scott, who plays Tasha Moselys. She was in the Parenthood, Kill Shot, Blue as the Moon. That's the daughter. Then we got Tina Lifford, the mom, plays Joan Moseley. She was in New Jack City, Baby's Kids, and The Temptations. We got Lamar Bentley, who plays Rashad, or like he liked to call himself, Shyrock. He was in Moesha as Hakeem, Tales from the Hood, and Too Legit to Quit the Hammer Story. He played Tupac. Then we got Nicole, played by Maia Cambell, Andre's love interest. She was on Moesha, Tales from the Hood. In the House, Trippin', and Poetic Justice. Maia Cambell. Then we got Shar Jackson, who played Chanel, Nicole's friend, or cousin, or whatever. Shaw was in Moesha, CB4, and Good Burger. Now notice all the good cast members we got. We got Keith Mabulo, who plays Dion Mosley. He was in Daddy Dearest and also hanging with Mr. Cooper. Then we got Paula Kelly, who plays Sweet, the late great Paula Kelly. She was in Sweet, Charity, Cold Breeze, and Trouble Man. Then we got Mr. Hood, movie himself, the all-star, powerful Captain Powell, who plays Bobby Deaver, who owns the co-op. He was in Menace to Society, Dead Presidents, and Next Friday. Then we got Dr. Ray McHenry, played by Kim Page. He was in Family Matters, Dream Girls, and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Can't forget Malinda Williams, who plays Candy. That's Nicole's cousin. I apologize for that. But Malinda was in High School High, the classic, I love it. The Wood, classic, I love it. And Moesha. And then finally we got the juicy, voluptuous, sexy Jennifer Lopez, who played a feisty cashier, Lucille. She was in Money Train, Selena, and Enough, among other movies. And I did all that just to show you how much these people took time out in casting everything. I got to give credit to the network Fox, the writer, Mauro Bach, Akil, who was responsible for The Game and Girlfriends, Gina Price, By the Wood, the program creator, Michael J. Withorn, Ralph Farquhar. Like I said, we got a few more episodes to go. This is just episode 1, the pilot. Y'all stay tuned for 2 through 11. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell. And just remember, each episode I do is going to get deeper and deeper. Episode 1 was just a pilot, so it wasn't much to talk about, just the introduction of the people. Stay tuned for episode 2. And y'all make sure you like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell. It's your man Kooll OneHunnit. Thank you for watching Kooll Reviews. See y'all on the next one. I'm out.